What is going on with our click-through rate? We got, what is this? 4%? 1.6%. This is the absolute most important thing to solve about the channel, because if we cannot convince people to click on our videos, nothing else matters. So we are going to focus all of our YouTube coins on fixing just this problem. So to fix the click-through rate, there are actually only two things that matter. It's the thumbnail and the title. So let's take a look at our thumbnails and titles, and you can see that they are pretty atrocious. So I've been reading a lot about storytelling over the last week, and you can see that our thumbnails are really not exciting. So it's just a frame out of the video. There's not really any emotional element to it. And the titles themselves are also not great. So we really want to have a hook that draws people in, that makes it impossible not to click the video. So we're just gonna experiment with the titles over the next few weeks, and we're gonna practice that on our short pitch videos. And we should talk about that a little bit, because in the last episode, I committed to doing one pitch video per day. That's about 2 minutes long, just so I can practice at YouTube. And what I've realized is if I put out one video per day, sometimes the quality suffers. So if I don't have a great idea for the twist on the pitch that day, or sometimes the pitch actually needs a lot more work in the back end to be able to do the pitch well, sometimes that just takes longer than a day. So we're still going to do the 100 pitches, but it's not going to be 100 days in a row. It's going to be maybe 2 or 3 videos per week of doing the short pitches until we get more efficient. Now let's talk about thumbnails. So I suck at designing thumbnails, as you can see. We are going to go on fiverr.com and find YouTube thumbnail creator. We are just going to pay like 6 of them, and to just do the exact same video, given the exact same information. Continue with Google. No, I want a different Google. It didn't work. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, basic, yes, basic. Perfect, continue. Card number. All right, here goes my very secret card number. All right, so the first video that we're gonna improve, we're gonna do the pitch video, because that's the one that we're actually gonna show to as many people as possible. So, oh boy. Okay, we're looking for a great thumbnail for this investor pitch video, and our company is teaching 3-year-olds how to read. All right, send. Let's go. Let's go for some of the cheaper ones, because then we can get a lot of them. I'm just going to copy paste. So I want to give the exact same instructions. You know, often they need a lot of like hand holding to explain what to do. And that is not my style of working with people. So I just want to be able to tell people a high level goal and to just have them figure it out. Next one. Our goal here is just to save as much time as possible. So once we find somebody that's really good, we're just going to use them over and over again. All right, yes, text me. Let me get my phone. Cute, but this looks like the video will teach kids how to read. We are building schools that will teach kids how to read, and the video is aimed at investors. All right, investor pitch for presupplied.com. So he added some text there. It's still, that text is really small. I don't think you can even see it on a thumbnail. So can we please make the text bigger? Sure. He didn't make the text bigger. Here we have a thumbnail for a horror movie with a child in a car seat. Now at least we have a book, but we've turned into an anime character. Is that a toilet behind me? I'm not sure what they did to my face. It no longer looks like a horror movie, but I think it can still be confused with actually teaching kids to read in this video. All right, this is too many words. This is the wrong video, although I do think the design is reasonable. This one would be really good for a video that teaches kids to read, but again, that's not what we're looking for, but we'll probably end up using this guy for future videos. Again, this looks like it teaches kids to read in this video. This says investor pitch, but again, the text is too small, so it looks like this video will actually teach kids how to read rather than being a pitch. And another one that looks like it'll teach kids to read in this video. So maybe the problem is that the title of our video is not great, and people are going off that. Childhood education. So at least it doesn't look like it's going to teach kids to read in this video, but has nothing to do with an investor pitch. We have a lumberjack pitch. Here we go. This looks like something that we might use. And we have the words pitch deck, but that should probably go above. All right, so nothing that's amazing so far, but they're still ongoing. And so hopefully by next week, we'll have that one ready. All right, it's been a week, and we're going to take a look at the final designs. So over here, there's just too much word salad. We're not going to go with this one. So here, he gave some variants for the background, but I just really don't like this style. It feels like I'm underwater, so we're not going to go with that. This one is kind of interesting. It might be good for when we reveal our first school, but it's not really appropriate for a pitch. This one does look like it'd be some sort of pitch deck, but I'm not quite happy with it because it looks very corporate in my opinion, and I want something to look like a pitch deck, but not as corporate as this. This one does look like a pitch, but I look extremely disappointed in it, so not sure if this is the best one. So this is the one whose style I liked the best. You can see he tried a bunch of different faces. This one is my favorite, but the face doesn't quite match the text. So the face is very serious, but the text looks like it would be something fun. So we want something kind of in this style, but so that we could tweak it. And unfortunately, the way that it works with Fiverr is the iteration time is really slow. So every time I give feedback, it takes like a day to get back to me. And that's just too slow for my liking. And I asked him to go on a video call so we can kind of iterate together, but he wasn't willing. And so I'm going to take this concept and recreate it as close as I can by myself so that within a minute or so, I can create a new thumbnail. You know, if I have some text and a face that I want, I can create it very quickly. All right, so this is the final concept that I come up with. You can see that it's not quite as good as this guy's is, but it's pretty close, and it took me a few hours to do it initially, but now that I know the process, it takes about a minute or two, and I can very easily swap out faces, swap out the text, right? So, for example, this took me an extra minute on top of this. So, just really easy to design, much higher quality looking thumbnails than I had before. And if you're interested in knowing how I made these thumbnails, you can leave a comment down below, and if there's enough interest, I'll make a separate video showing exactly step-by-step how I did it. All right, and now onto the titles. So until now, the way that I've been making the videos is I have an idea for the storyline, and I kind of go along the storyline and just make the video. But we're going to change that because YouTube does not reward that kind of arc building. It's just really hard to build episodic content on YouTube. And so we are going to change the strategy. We are now no longer going to make a video unless we can come up with a great title and a great thumbnail up front. And only once we think we have something that's great that can capture an audience, then we will build the video around it. And I've just started a list here for ideas for titles. So I'll just go through some of the better ideas on this list. 3-year-old pitches a startup. I think that's a catchy title that if somebody saw that, if an entrepreneur saw that, somebody in our audience, they would almost certainly click that. Next one is I taught a homeless man how to read. And I think this evokes enough curiosity that somebody who came across it would want to click it. And another one that's kind of aiming at a different strategy. So just thinking about it from the perspective of search, what do entrepreneurs search for? And one of the things they might search for is how to hire great software engineers. And that's something that I think I'm quite good at. And so just ideas around optimizing for search. All right, so our YouTube idea list is going to continue to grow, and we will keep posting updates on our progress, but it's probably not going to be in long form content for now. So we'll see if we can find a format that just drives people to click more frequently than they do today. In the last part of the episode today, we're going to go over some feedback for the YouTube channel from some friends of mine, and we're going to see what else we still need to implement. Videos are too long. I got this feedback many times, so it needs to be under 10 minutes. I mostly agree with that. I still do think that the long form content is very useful for somebody who's trying to learn. And so in the future, we still want to continue with the long form content, but we first need to build credibility. And so we are going to aim to have under 10-minute videos. And here we get feedback that we should focus on entertainment rather than education. I didn't agree with this feedback initially, but I now do. YouTube pretty much forces you to entertain. So there's not really any other choice. So here I got some feedback to have a second person on the video so that there's actually a conversation going on and it's not just me talking all the time. And I 100% agree with that. I'm currently working on getting a second person to participate. What would you rate the overall quality of the content out of 10? Because there was too much focus on bad ideas, I'd rate content 3 out of 10. Ouch. All right. We'll see you next time on Let's Build a Startup.